we wish too to remind you, as we mentioned in the beginning, there are so many levels of support for you. And as part of this process, you are being called to open into conscious community connections. What are conscious community connections? These are alignments, awakening to you, divine beings here on earth, as you are opening through all phases of this process. The receiving and activation, the processing, the integration and beyond. You're not in this alone. We repeat, you are not in this alone. Now, we have said this many times at the divine level. You're not in this alone at the earthly level with your fellow beings. We ask you to open yourself to feel an energy in connection and relationship, a subtle frequency that may be below the surface of recognition and another, that they too are in this phase of rapid, accelerated transformation. Now, everybody on the planet is experiencing this. However, due to our unique spirit, how we experience it will be very different. For some of us, we are not able to fully be conscious of this experience and maybe pushing it down and blocking it. And that is not wrong or bad. Simply not prepared to receive and open. It's not the right time. That doesn't mean the right time could align even in the next week. This is wisdom in these individuals, for they know if they were to open to the level that you are, because you are that open if you're listening to this, that it would overwhelm them and could create chaos and physical disease in their body because they're not ready to receive this information, this wisdom, these activating energies. Again, this goes to so many levels that we've spoken to around beliefs, in particular beliefs that might be blocking the process. So, again, to go to everyone on planet Earth is in this process. However, you're going to find, as you've heard words used before, star family. This is now more than ever, folks. Your starseed family. You're going to feel like a beacon has been turned on. Okay, like those little air tags. And you're going to feel this more than ever before, this sense of longing, this sense of connection, not for a longing for a family that is in the stars, which you may feel that too, but a longing for the connections here on earth, because they're awakening. This star family that's been here with you all along, you just weren't ready to open to the level of forming those connections yet. Now is the time. So in this accelerated growth phase, you are all like this beautiful beacon of light in your hearts, is sparking. And that beacon of light is guiding you to make those human level connections. Now it's happening energetically. I want to say this is happening at many levels. This is happening energetically simply through saying yes to this process, simply through being open to this concept. You are supporting and connecting to each other. It happens automatically because, again, with the shift and the expansion in the earth plane, these energies are there's not as much distraction and distortion. So they find each other and they support each other. So that's happening anyway. So I want you to envision that for a moment. Literally like constellations here on earth. Let's be with that for a moment. All of you starseed beings with these beautiful beacons of light within your hearts, like twinkling stars here on earth, aligning to each other, creating this mosaic of constellations. Ah, absolutely beautiful. I see it. I see it. Simply through being in your process, you have activated this. Simply through being open, you have activated these magical connections. We wish for you to feel them in your heart. It is love. It is support right here on earth for you. And of course, as always, we are here supporting this connection like a grid. Like a grid. Tenderly. And say, Melissa's human self just had a vision of the... Melissa has 4 kids, by the way, if you don't know. So her youngest, her youngest and her second, her 8-year-old and 12-year-old, both wanted to watch the movie Soul over the weekend. And there are these beings of light that support the little souls before they come to Earth. And that's part of what, oh, it's so tender. That's part of how we want you to see this divine guidance for your connections. So these beings that live in a plane before the souls enter the earth plane, they are the caretakers of the little souls, supporting them in their preparation for coming to the earth plane and, helping any aligned connections. So it's a very loving, playful, tender connection that we have for you, and ushering in these connections that will help to open your heart and support you in your processing. So again, these conscious community connections are absolutely a part of this process. They ease the process. It's another tool and a treasure here on earth to ease your process by forming these connections. So through these heart-based interstellar on earth, these constellations of star beings on earth, you are literally supporting one another through your heart, and through the energies that are coming through, you're sharing love, you're sharing wisdom, you're sharing your own insight and process, again, without having to consciously communicate about it. It's just happening. You're nurturing and supporting each other. As one of you breaks through, it supports all of the others here on earth that are in the same process in your star cluster. And in truth, all the constellations are interconnected. Some will be in closer connection than others, just like when you look into the night sky and you see the alignment of perhaps Orion and you are able to recognize it. However, if you expand your vision back, you see, of course, the beautiful matrix of all the stars in the universe, in the multiverse. So the next level we wish to speak of is more of an embodied earthly way of connecting. So what you will recognize, and this is not an unfamiliar concept, as you're in this phase of rapid acceleration, expansion, growth, processing, transformation, and integration, you're changing rapidly. And not only are you changing inside your life, of course, your entire life will begin to shift and change as you do. And your orientation and relationship will change. So yes, this will mean that some relationships will come to completion and new ones will come in. This may mean that relationships you have had will be taken to a new level through this alignment that you are experiencing and the alignment that another may be experiencing, becoming like, when it's in person, it's almost like a magnetic attraction. And not just at the sensual level. We just, it's an attraction that, yes, that can be experienced. We don't want to distract to that level because that will happen too. We want to keep it at this level of the attraction. Any attraction to something or someone is because there's something in you that is drawing that to you. You're drawing that to you for a reason. You're drawing that person. You're drawing the energies that they're in. There's something for you to experience and discover from that. Just as anything here on earth, that is the purpose. It's happening for a reason when you're attracting things to you for a purpose and a reason. Deep breath. So yes, this can happen at an interpersonal level as you experience it. Now, we are all very much aware that we have greatly expanded our connection through the World Wide Web. The World Wide Web. So we want you, I know that there's many of us who may have lots of different opinions about all the social media constructs that are available out there. With any construct, its gifts and its foibles depend on how you're using it, how you're aligning to it. So if you step into your social media from this aligned, open-hearted place, you're going to attract to you some pretty incredible earth magic. You're going to attract information that in an earthly way, perhaps a class or a course or a celebration that you wish to be a part of. You're going to attract to you individuals and people, connections that you are meant to strike a spark. You may attract to you earthbound healers who are just who you need in this moment to support you in your process. So stay open to this possibility. We encourage you before you tune into your social media to see where you're at. And it's not from a place of judgment, but again, bringing this to the consciousness level. How am I aligning to this? If you're tuning in with the place of feeling aligned and perhaps even having a question if there's something that's coming up, a block, a physical experience, an emotional experience, a belief system, and then you're inquiring into the World Wide Web and social media, the alignment that you have within, because that's where it starts, will align to the great World Wide Web and social media, and that's going to create some magical conscious community connections. So you're in one right now. This well of being community is a conscious community connection. So I encourage you to continue to engage in the community. I had a realization earlier in the week. This channel is a mere babe. On Thursday it will be 3 weeks old. And however, of course, the wisdom is ageless, timeless, however you want to say it. It's been ready, so it doesn't feel like, 3 weeks feels like nothing. Feels like everything, and it feels like nothing. What we wish to say is there's a level of activation of the community that happened immediately on the 111 portal when it was launched, and before, when the idea was implanted in Melissa's concept mind. And all of you beautiful starseeds who are listening to this are supporting the creation of this community. It is you who is calling forth this information. Even before you knew that this channel existed. Again, it is you who is calling forth this information. Even if you've never spoken to Melissa, you do not know her, it doesn't matter. It's at the etheric level, at the soul level. You have called forth the creation of this channel. So that alone is magic, right? If you found this channel, you're one of its co-founders. Congratulations. Thank you. Thank you. We are so grateful for you for helping to co-create this beautiful channel. It's not an accident. It's called a channel that allows this wisdom to come through. Now, as the star beings here on Earth that are helping to receive and create this channel as its founders, you have the ability to be able to influence this channel. So what we mean by this is your presence here, listening, supports the channel continuing to bring in wisdom that you are calling to yourself. You may find this from time to time, that you tune in, you're like, that's exactly what I needed to hear. It's like without communicating, there's telecommunication happening. So there is a level to the more that you actually actively engage. There's something about creating an alignment of, yes, I am part of this community. So listening to this right now and having your internal yes is part of it. But with the way that the system is set up, liking posts, choosing to comment, subscribing, sharing, that you being present and listening again and again, because each and every one of these offerings has the ability to be received in a completely different way depending on where you are in your process of acceleration. You may have listened to one offering 3 weeks ago at its conception, you return to it now and you hear it and receive it in a completely different way. So this is intentional. So essentially each of these offerings are an opening, and through that opening there is the wisdom that Melissa is drawn to speak into existence, but there's also just an energetic opening that is created, and through that energetic opening there is wisdom, there is healing energy that can come through, and what comes through is different moment to moment to moment depending on your alignment, depending on when you're listening to it. There's so many multi-dimensional ways. So this again goes to your active involvement in this community will actually further activate the support that you receive. And it will allow Melissa to have a little more power to cultivate experiences that aren't interrupted by disruptions such as ads. So at this point, I'm not at the level that YouTube allows me any power, this is Melissa speaking, to be able to shift where I put ads. I've looked, but because I'm not at that level yet, once you get there, you can choose where you put them. And I absolutely, in an earthly way, it is my honor to be able to create these experiences in such a way where you don't have, there's as few disruptions as possible. So your support and subscribing and sharing and liking helps me to get to the level that YouTube says, okay, now we'll give her some power. It's just the way the system is right now. And the flip side of that, I want to go back into channeling. The flip side of that, of course, is what we've been saying, is that when you actively engage in the community, as you are receiving this information, you are saying yes to taking this information, this wisdom, these healing energies, these activations to another level. And there is a spark of activation between all of you who are listening because others see this. And so there's another earthly level. I'm just seeing these like beautiful lit up roots. So it's like we have this cosmic web, and then we have these lit up roots that are rooting into the ground. And then they spark other connections at different levels. So we just encourage you, not from a place that's inauthentic. No. When you're feeling it, when you have the yes hit, yes. When something comes in and you have some sort of question, you have some sort of insight, you have some sort of aha, share it, because I guarantee you there is a star being out there here on earth who needs to hear your question, who has the same question and who may not be quite ready to ask it yet. So there's something about bringing something to that level in a very earthly way where you're like taking it out of like, oh, it's just kind of in my etheric being or in my mind, to the like hitting the button, to the sharing your words. So it really does support your process of integration. Bringing us back to this will support your process of integration, this active sharing, not only through the Well-Being channel, but through your lives, So even if you've been a person who up until this point, you've been more reserved, You may find you're more drawn to share in certain situations when you feel that attraction, when you feel that starseed spark within another. So, okay, we wish to open into light language, and then we'll see if there's anything else that wants to be shared on this. Yay! We're very excited about this. Can you tell? Okay, we're going to close this with a light language. Thank you. And really, this is our gratitude and thanks, because truly, this message is being channeled from the wise divine beings, because we have awareness of what construct, what structure could create the greatest level of support for your integration here on Earth through these conscious community connections. Thank you again. Thank you, thank you, thank you, courageous beings. Thank you, beautiful star seeds. We see your stars here on Earth. We're excited for you to become conscious and aware of these beautiful cosmic connections right here on Earth. Much love and blessings. Until next time.